Hey everyone, welcome back to another Haolonggood review. Today we're taking a look at their newest addition to their ever-expanding lineup, their Euoplocephalus. Feels like every couple of weeks on the channel we are reviewing a new Haolonggood figure. That is because they have a very rapid-fire release schedule, but that's okay because their figures are very affordable, especially when you compare them to P and SO. I end up picking up both these figures from AliExpress. They retail for just under 20 bucks each. Like I said, their lower retail value makes it very easy to pick up both versions of the figure, and I'll leave a link down below in the description to AliExpress if you want to pick up one of these for yourself. Euoplocephalus has been a top want among most dinosaur toy collectors. You know, we really don't have too many figures, well, good figures of this species out there. But is this really a Euoplocephalus? Stay tuned a little bit later on in the review. This could be an entirely different species altogether. But anyways, let's just go over the packaging really quick. We got both versions right here, 98, 97. That's how you determine which color you're going to get in the box. The front right here, we have both color versions of Euoplocephalus on the front, and then on top of the box we have pictures of the many other figures. This is just like a fraction of the figures that Haolonggood has to offer. They have a lot more on the way. I'm very, very excited for that. So enough about the packaging. Let's throw these figures up on the turntable and take a closer look. And here are both versions of Euoplocephalus. I have to say, both are absolutely fantastic looking. They look like quite the happy, jolly pair with the smiles on their faces. Now, there's two versions. There's the orange version and the gray version. If I had to pick between the two, I like the orange, the orange version better. Just the way the osteoderms are painted really, really makes them pop against that orange background. The gray one is much more natural. You know, they're basically just reverse coloration. Gray one, you know, gray main gray body with the orange osteoderms, and you get the orange one with the orange body and the gray osteoderms. Both are fantastic looking pieces, but I do prefer the orange one. Yeah, they're both really nice figures, and you know, some people have mentioned that this could possibly be a very close relative of Euoplocephalus, Scolosaurus. And you know, after looking at some skeletals of Scolosaurus, I'm leaning more towards that these figures represent Scolosaurus versus Euoplocephalus, but I'll get to that a little bit later on. And now time for some measurements. This figure is 6.5 inches long from the tip of the beak to the tip of the club tail, or 16.5 centimeters, and about 1.5 inches tall to the top of the head, or 3.8 centimeters. So Euoplocephalus was around 17 feet long, or 5.3 meters. Put this figure in the 132 scale range. Scolosaurus was around 18 feet long, or 5.6 meters. So put him in the 133 scale range. And now let's zoom and take a look at some of the finer details on this figure, starting with my favorite, the orange version. I just think this is absolutely delightful looking figure. Look at that happy little face on here. You can see the eye is painted blue with a black pupil. Absolutely love blue eyes on dinosaur figures. I think it's a very striking look for them. And you can see the whole figure is just decked out in all this orange, with all the osteoderms just decked out in dark gray. Very, very nicely done. So now the reason why some people on the Dinosaur Toy Forum said this might be a Scolosaurus, so I started doing just a little bit of research and looking at the front of the head right here. There's a bunch of differences between Euoplocephalus, Scolosaurus, Ankylosaurus. I think like everything was like lumped into Euoplocephalus, and then it was just broken up between Scolosaurus and Ankylosaurus, and it ended up being like only 12 specimens of Euoplocephalus currently recognized. So it's kind of like a mess right now. But you see these horns right here at the back of the head. These are the squamosal horns. They are very backswept on here, and from like the skull skeletal versus Euoplocephalus, this looks like a Scolosaurus. Now there's a bunch of different, let's get my camera to steady here. Come on, there we go, we're back. There's a lot of differences with the arrangement of the armor, a lot of small details. We'd be here all day, we're just comparing the two, but me personally, I think this is a Scolosaurus figure, which is pretty cool because I don't think there's really any Scolosaurus figures out there, and it's been a dinosaur that's been known for a very, very long time. The Natural History Museum in London has very famous specimen of that dinosaur. So right now, that's what it is for me. And if you want to be Euoplocephalus, you can. They are very, very closely related. So this little guy can be quite the versatile figure in your collection. So anyways, going back down, let's just look at all the nice detail. Just like love the scale detail all over these figures. Haolonggood just keeps getting better and better with each release. I just look at all those osteoderms. They just absolutely pop on the orange version. I just love the little trot and sculpt for the legs and the underside. A very, very wide belly. There's the Haolonggood logo on the side. And over here, we've flipped over. We have a nice little bum slit at the base of the tail. And speaking of the tail, just all those nice osteoderms just go to this really nicely sculpted club. I actually like the paint on the tail of the gray version versus the orange one. I just really don't like those splotches of black on there. I wish this was all painted in black or dark gray just to really highlight the club. It just looks really sloppy on the tail. I mean, that is really my only complaint on these figures. I did not like the paint, how it came up on the tail. But yeah, cute little guy, absolutely adorable. I just love the smiling face on these. And now let's take a look at the gray version. Same thing, blue eyes, black pupil, nice little smile on there. This nice sloping head, much more natural looking of the two. But like I keep saying with the orange one, just like how it highlights the placement of the osteoderm. So this thing's all decked out in dark gray. There's a little bit of like a pink wash on here. You can see it along the back just to kind of bring out the details between the armor plating. And then on the side right here with a little bit of a cream coat and more of that pink. On the side, you can see all the rows of osteoderms on the side of the belly. Nice little running trot for the legs. We didn't get really close up with the legs when I looked at the orange one, so let's look at them with the gray version. You see the toe claws that painted in with black paint. Same thing for the hind legs. Here is a view from the top. Here is a view from the underside. Man, my camera does not like these figures for whatever reason. There's the cloaca slit, a little bit more gray shadow on the cloaca on this one. And getting to the tail club, absolutely love how the tail club came out on this one. Much more bonier looking. I just wish the paint was exactly the same on the orange one. The orange will be pretty much perfect in my eyes that the tail club was painted just a little bit better, especially that dry brush of white really brings out all the details. But like I said, you can't go wrong with either version. I think both are really nice. Moving on with comparisons, here is we'll collect these 140 scale human. Now, Euoplocephalus, Scolosaurus is from Dinosaur Park, Oldman, Horseshoe Canyon Formation, so it needs all that armor to protect itself from the likes of Albertosaurus, Gorgosaurus. Let's just get the camera to zoom out so you can see these a little bit better. And here it is with Haolonggood's Daspletosaurus. I absolutely love what Haolonggood is doing with their herbivores. They really got to improve on the theropods. Right now, there's look like really any theropods on the slate from them currently. They're really cranking out a lot of herbivores, which I'm fine with because P&S are pretty much cornered the market on theropods the last few years. And this isn't Haolonggood's first armored dinosaur. Here it is with their Edmontonia, and here it is with their Ankylosaurus. I absolutely love the paint apps on this version of the Ankylosaurus. I think of all the armored one, I believe this is the best painted of all the armored ones that they've done so far. Let's do a few other Ankylosaur comparisons. Here it is with Safari Limited Zool. Let's get that a little bit more centered. And here it is with Vitae. Guys, remember Vitae? Here it is with their awesome looking Jinyu Pelta. This one still ranks as one of my favorite Ankylosaur figures in my collection. And next up, here it is with P&So's Ankylosaurus. This figure's been out for years now. I think it was 4, maybe 5 years ago. It still remains one of P&So's best value figures. This thing came out as like $17.99, and it just pulls away pretty much everything that came out after because the prices have kept rising. I just think the detail on CD here is just absolutely fantastic for the price point on it. I still think it's reasonably around that low $20 range. So if you don't have this figure yet, definitely pick it up. And here it is with some of Haolonggood's recent releases. Here it is with their Chasmosaurus and the recently reviewed Edmontosaurus. And lastly, almost forgot, this one got lost in the shuffle. So on the side of my desk, buried underneath the piece of paper, here is the Batat Euoplocephalus. This figure's been around since, I think, the late 90s. It's been, pretty much my standard Euoplocephalus figure in my collection. Like I said, there's very, very few good figures of this species. So let's just pull them and take a look at them from top to bottom. You can see the Batat one is a little bit wider. Some of the new reconstructions of Scolosaurus and Euoplocephalus a little bit more narrow, but yeah, the Batat one this is the re-release that came out in Target stores a few years ago. Still a great figure, but it's nice that you'll get newer version of these old classics. So final thoughts on Haolonggood's Euoplocephalus. I think they're very well done. I'm leaning more towards it being a Scolosaurus. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, what you think it is, Euoplocephalus or Scolosaurus. But you can't deny it, they're both really nicely sculpted figures. Their detail and the paint apps have got much better and much more natural looking. And I just can't wait for what else this company has in store for us. It's nice that they gave us that big teaser poster a couple months ago to show us all the cool stuff coming. Really excited for that Maiasaur and Camarasaurus. But yeah, these two figures are really great. And like I said at the beginning of my review, got them from AliExpress. They retail for just under 20 bucks. Link is down below in the description, so that will do it for the review. I do have some new Jurassic World stuff. I think it's coming in tomorrow, so be on the lookout for a couple new reviews on the channel this week. And as always, if you're enjoying the content on this channel, show your support by hitting that subscription button just below the video. Each subscription helps out the channel tremendously and is greatly appreciated. And I'll see you guys for the next one.